It was supposed to be a routine flight. First class, early morning, New York to Chicago. But as the plane taxied to a stop, a woman in a sleek navy suit found herself surrounded by uniformed officers. The flight attendant whispered something, and before she could speak, 2 guards grabbed her arm. Passengers watched in silence as she was dragged down the aisle, humiliated, accused, and confused. No one knew who she was. No one cared to ask. But what happened next would make aviation history. Watch until the end. Wait a second. Tell us where you're watching from in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories like this. Her name was Ava Richardson, the CEO of Skylink Technologies, a leading aerospace software firm. She'd built her company from a college project into a billion-dollar enterprise that powered the navigation systems of major airlines. Calm, focused, and fiercely intelligent, Ava wasn't new to travel or prejudice. She'd spent her life proving herself in boardrooms that rarely looked like her. That morning, she'd just finished negotiating a groundbreaking contract that would redefine global flight safety. She settled into her seat, reviewing her notes, unaware that a flight attendant had mistaken her for someone suspicious. Someone who didn't belong in first class. It wasn't the first time she'd been stared at, but this time, the consequences would be public, painful, and unforgettable. When the plane landed, Ava unbuckled her seatbelt, as did everyone else. But before she could reach for her bag, 2 airport security officers approached. "Ma'am, we need you to come with us." Confused, she asked why, but they didn't answer. The attendant behind them crossed her arms, avoiding Ava's gaze. Passengers pulled out their phones and recorded. Some whispered, others looked away. The accusation was never spoken aloud, but the meaning was clear. You don't belong here. As they escorted her off the plane, Ava's mind raced. She had a meeting in an hour, with the very airline she'd just flown on. She tried to explain who she was, but the officers didn't check her ID until they reached the gate. One of them paused, reading her name, then glancing at the company logo on her laptop bag. A flicker of realization crossed his face. Too late. The damage was done. Ava stood there, surrounded by cameras, her dignity stripped away. She wasn't angry yet, just numb. The officer muttered an apology, but it sounded mechanical. Rehearsed. The attendant avoided eye contact, pretending to fix her uniform. When Ava finally walked away, the world had already seen the video. Within hours, her name was trending online, not as a CEO, but as the woman dragged off the plane. The airline issued a brief apology the next morning. A misunderstanding. But Ava had spent her life navigating misunderstandings. This one, however, wouldn't fade. Instead of anger, she felt clarity. The humiliation had given her a purpose sharper than rage. In the days that followed, she rejected interviews and turned her focus inward. Her team rallied behind her, offering one idea after another. Within a month, Ava made a bold announcement. Skylink would build its own airline, one that treated every passenger with dignity. The press called it impossible. Competitors laughed. Investors hesitated, but Ava didn't flinch. She had faced worse than disbelief. 2 years later, Nova Air took its first flight, a sleek, AI-powered airline built on fairness, innovation, and transparency. Every seat had equal comfort. Every staff member underwent bias and empathy training. Real-time passenger feedback was built into the cabin system, ensuring accountability from takeoff to landing. The airline didn't just succeed, it exploded. Passengers called it the future of flying. Within 5 years, Nova Air was valued at over $5 billion. The same airlines that once doubted her were now trying to partner with her. And the same flight attendant who had humiliated her publicly sent a private letter of apology, one Ava never replied to. During Nova Air's 5th anniversary celebration, Ava stood before thousands of employees and millions of viewers watching online. She didn't mention her humiliation that day, but everyone knew. Instead, she said, "Respect shouldn't depend on your seat, your skin, or your story. It should be automatic, like gravity." The crowd erupted in applause. Cameras flashed. But Ava just smiled, remembering that silent plane, that cold stare. And the moment her life was reduced to someone else's prejudice, she had turned that pain into progress, that injustice into innovation. And now, every time one of her planes lifted into the sky, it carried a message far greater than flight, proof that resilience can rewrite even the most broken systems. How many more stories like, "Ava's will it take before equality stops being a fight and starts being the standard"? Please tell us which country and city you're watching from. Take care.